Hello students, now we are going to discuss about quadratic equation. In lecture 4, we have already studied about many things about how to deal with the quadratic equations, how to solve them out and another very many things. Now we are going to discuss about some other features that we have not yet discussed. Now talking about the next topic, that is relation between roots and coefficients. Now relation between roots and coefficient, what do you mean by that? Now if alpha beta are the roots of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, then what will happen? Alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. That means the sum of the roots will be equal to minus b by a and alpha beta will be equal to c by a. So this implies ax square plus bx plus c is equal to a into x minus alpha into x minus beta. Therefore, sum of roots is equal to coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square, and product of roots is equal to constant term by coefficient of x square. Now students, we are going to discuss about factor theorem. What exactly factor theorem is? If alpha be a root of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, then x minus alpha is a factor of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That means quadratic equation, if we have any quadratic equation and we know alpha is the root of quadratic equation, then x minus alpha will be the factor of that quadratic equation. Conversely, if x minus alpha is a factor of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, then alpha is the root of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This goes side by side. When we are talking about alpha as a root, then it will be x minus alpha is a factor. Conversely, if x minus alpha is a factor of quadratic equation, then alpha is the root of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That means that quadratic equation will be either alpha root or x minus alpha is a factor. We will prove this out now. With this proof, assume that alpha is the root of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This implies a alpha square plus b alpha plus c is equal to 0. We have just put alpha is a root, so in place of x we have put alpha over there. Now we get a alpha square plus b alpha plus c is equal to 0. Name this equation as equation 1. We have marked that 1. Now divide ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 by x minus alpha. Because x minus alpha is a factor, so we have divided that equation by x minus alpha. When we divide this equation by x minus alpha, we get px plus q be the quotient and let r be the remainder of that division part. As we divide other things also, like we have divided so many other algebraic expressions in our previous classes, same way we are going to divide this also. Therefore, ax square plus bx plus c will be equivalent to x minus alpha into px plus q plus r. This is our simple formula that we use using our dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now we will put x is equal to alpha in equation 2. Therefore, ax square plus bx plus c will be equivalent to alpha minus alpha into p alpha plus q plus r. That means 0 is equal to 0 plus r or r is equal to 0. From here we conclude that remainder is 0. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now, therefore, x minus alpha is a factor of ax square plus bx plus c is quadratic equation. Assume that, now we will do the converse part over here. Assume that x minus alpha is a factor of ax square plus bx plus c. There exists another linear factor px plus q such that ax square plus bx plus c is equivalent to x minus alpha into px plus q. There might be a linear factor which would be equal to this equation, because this is just a factor part. There will be some number also over there. that number is, we are supposing as px plus q. Putting x is equal to alpha, we get a alpha square plus b alpha plus c is equal to 0. This implies alpha is the root of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now we will talk about how to form equations. Now we know that factor theorem, we know another things also. Now we have to learn how to form equations. When we are clear about the relation between coefficients and roots, we should also learn how to form equations. The first thing that we have to find the equation whose roots are alpha and beta. Proof is, let the equation be ax square plus bx plus c is equal. Now equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Therefore alpha plus beta, that means sum of roots, is equal to minus b by a, and product of roots, that alpha beta, will be equal to c by a. As we have already discussed in our previous parts, the equation can be written as x square plus b by a x plus c by a is equal to 0. Or we can write it as x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. I have just put the value of b by a over here, that is our alpha plus beta, as I have just said this thing, and product of roots alpha beta, c by a value is alpha beta. Or we can write further it as x square minus alpha x minus beta x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. If I just segregate them out, first two parts and the last two parts, I get as x common, x minus alpha, minus beta common, x minus alpha is equal to 0. Taking x minus alpha common from both the parts, we get x minus alpha and another bracket x minus beta is equal to 0. This implies that factors of this equation is alpha and beta. So the required equation comes out to be x square minus sx plus p is equal to 0. When we have roots alpha beta, then we can form the equation directly as x square minus sx plus p is equal to 0. Now let's take an example and explain this thing in detail. Find the quadratic equation with rational coefficients and with one root 3 plus under root 5 by 2 minus under root 5. Now in this we are given one root and we have just said that these are rational coefficients. Whenever we have any root with such a part where it is square roots or something other thing part, then first root is 3 plus under root 5 by 2 minus under root 5. We will factorize it and we will get the second root out. 3 plus under root 5 by 2 minus under root 5 into 2 plus under root 5 by 2 plus under root 5. This is a common method that we used to use in our previous classes to find this second root. So multiplying or making the denominator as or removing denominator from the square root part from the denominator. Now this comes out to be 6 plus 3 under root 5 plus 2 under root 5 plus 5 by 4 minus 5 when we take product is equal to 11 plus 5 under root 5 by minus 1, and this comes out to be 11 minus 5 under root 5. So first root, I have just removed the denominator part, that is our square root part from our denominator. So we have one root as minus 11 minus 5 under root 5. So automatically our second root becomes minus 11 plus 5 under root 5 because complex roots occur in pairs. So second root comes out to be minus 11 plus 5 under root 5 because irrational roots of a quadratic equation with rational coefficients occurs in pair. Now sum comes out to be minus 11 minus 5 under root 5 minus 11 plus 5 under root 5, that is equal to minus 22 because minus 5 under root 5 and plus 5 under root 5 cancel each other, and minus 11 comes out to be minus 22. So product of roots minus 11 into minus 11 minus 5 under root 5 into minus 11 plus 5 under root 5 comes out to be 121 minus 125 is equal to minus 4. So our required equation is x square minus xx plus p is equal to 0. or x square plus 22x minus 4 is equal to 0.
So friends, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. For more informative videos, don't forget to press the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever I upload the next video for your more informative and for your more information. So please like, share and subscribe, and I will be back soon with more videos. Stay safe, stay happy, take care.